my channel. My name is Carmelita, and I am a licensed professional counselor in the state of Wisconsin. And my channel is all about providing resources for mental health, and then also some creative coping techniques. I like to just do some different exploration of possible coping techniques that people can use that I can tell my clients about, and also just experience myself. So here I am learning how to do hand knitting, or I think it's called finger knitting, I don't really know. But the gist is you're knitting but without needles, basically. And so you're seeing me try and figure this out. At a certain point in the video, you'll see me just say, you know what, I think I'm good with this for the rest of the night. I'll come back to it another time, which I think is so important to tell clients that when you're trying to learn something new, as with anything like coping skills, mindfulness skills, things like that, or even changing negative thought patterns, if we're talking about cognitive behavioral therapy, for example, it takes time. It doesn't feel genuine. It doesn't feel normal. It feels weird or forced at first, and that is because you're practicing a new skill, you're building new neural pathways, and trying to overcome those old ones that were that you've been using for so long that have been ineffective for you. And so practicing a new skill or learning something new like this is no different. And so you'll see me at one point just say, okay, you know what, I'm done. I'm taking a break from this for the rest of the day. But anyways, so even though I am a therapist, I'm not your therapist. My videos are used or should be used as a resource, and not as primary therapy. It can be used with your therapist. You can give ideas to your therapist from the things that you learn here, but it is not meant for you to use as your main mental health treatment or any mental health treatment. That being said, today I'm talking about 4 coping skills for anxiety. Simple ones that you can use wherever you are, so practical ones. The first one is cold water or ice on your forehead or cheeks. And so this kind of slows down your nervous system, and this is really good for when you're having a panic, or you feel like you're about to have a panic attack, or you just have very high anxiety. It kind of just like, you kind of notice when it's starting to happen. You have the shallow breath, the quickened breath, maybe you're having some chest pressure, things like that. This is a good technique for that. So I tell people, put an ice cube in between your eyebrows. I've also heard people say, other therapists say put ice packs on your cheeks. Really the idea is that those parts of the face kind of cue the body that like you start to feel like you're underwater. At least your body does feel that way, and so it starts to slow everything down. Because one thing that your body knows is that when I'm in water or I'm submerged in water, I don't want to have a panic, because panic is how you drown. You want to calm down, and so it calms everything down. And the great part of it is that you're not actually underwater, so you can still breathe. And so it is a really good skill for that. I've done it with clients in session when they're starting to have a panic attack. I've done it with clients who had high anxiety, ADHD, PTSD combined, and they were just having like a heightened moment and needed some time. So we've done that intervention. I've seen it work for them, and then they've done it on their own as well. And that seems to work really well. The next one is 4-7-8 breathing. So this is where you're inhaling for 4 seconds. And then you are holding for 7 seconds, and then you're exhaling, making a sound for about 8 seconds. So it'll be inhale 4 seconds, holding for 7, exhaling for 8. And so that's something that you can do again if you're starting to feel panic or stressed out. That is a really good technique as well. It just trains you to slow your breathing. And the really important part here is that you want to exhale twice as long as you're inhaling, because that is, really where you start to feel the calm and relaxation in your body as your muscles kind of relax. The next one, number 3, focus on one thing and take 3 deep breaths. This is one that I actually learned from another client. They said that their primary therapist taught them this. I actually learned this in a group therapy session I was facilitating. And they said their primary therapist taught them this because sometimes it's hard to remember the other coping skills. There's too many steps. For example, 4-7-8 breathing has 3 steps in it. One that I'm going to tell you next has 5. And so it can be kind of hard if you're actually like really just overwhelmed. So he said that the therapist told them to take 3 deep breaths and focus on one thing. So I am looking right now at a candle, and what I would do is I would just stare at that candle, focus only on that candle. I can pay attention to the color of it, whatever it is I want to take in about that candle, and just take 3 deep breaths. And then I'm going to move on to the next thing I can see. So the next thing next to my candle is a stapler. I'm going to take 3 deep breaths, stare at my stapler. And you just keep doing that until you feel more calm. And that client said it really works for them. So I really like that one because, like I said, it's a simple one. You don't have to focus on a bunch of different things. The next one is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, which a lot of people know about because it's talked about all the time. So you name 5 things that you can see in the room. So I can see my computer. I can see my candle. I can see my stapler. I can see my pen. I can see my pencil. 4 things that you can hear, or 4 things that you can feel. So I think feel is easier, so I always say 4 of feeling. So I can feel my desk. I can feel my keyboard. I can feel my chair that I'm sitting on. I can feel my fuzzy socks. 3 things that you can hear. So I can hear my own voice. I can hear not much else. It's very quiet because I've got my headphones on, but I can hear random noise in my room whenever I fidget or move. And then I can hear a car outside. 2 things that you can smell. So I can't smell anything in the air, but I do have a candle next to me, and I'll smell that. Ooh. It smells like kind of like vanilla or cookies or something. And then I have another candle, actually. I'll smell that. Ooh, one's lavender. And then one thing you can taste. So I happen to have a beverage here, and I can take a sip of that. So that's a good one to help you get more grounded. Sometimes people feel like they are dissociating, or they're coming back from dissociating. This could be, I mean, we dissociate all the time. It doesn't have to only be trauma related, but like people dissociate when they're driving. You know, your mind just goes somewhere else and you're thinking of other things. You could be dissociating when you're having a conversation with somebody, or when you're at work and you're bored. We do it all the time. So sometimes it's good to get back grounded into like the present. And this is a good technique for that. If you are feeling highly anxious, so a lot of times we're anxious about something that might happen, this is a good technique for that, because it forces your senses to acknowledge that you're sitting here in the present moment and you're not in whatever catastrophe you're fantasizing about. You're here in the present and you're okay. And so that's a good technique for that. So just to sum it all up, it is the ice cube or ice pack, the 4-7-8 breathing, focusing on one thing and taking 3 deep breaths, and then the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method as the 4 coping techniques that I'm sharing today. And I hope you've enjoyed me trying to enjoyed watching me trying to learn how to do this new skill. I did enjoy it, even though I got frustrated at the end. I did still enjoy it, and I did continue to make it like probably a couple weeks later after I had like a little bit of a break from it. So I thank you for watching, and I hope that the coping skills that were discussed were helpful for you today. If not, I hope you just enjoyed watching me struggle with this new thing that I'm learning. All right, thanks for joining me. Peace be with you.